Welcome to the episode 2 of the Gaba-Gulag. I'm Sean, and we're here with our very special guest, Kyle.
Marissa Hamilton was running for governor of Arizona on the Libertarian Party ticket when she started exposing pro-pedophilia voices within her party.
Wait, what?
Yeah, basically, well, because we were talking about this. Because there's, if you look at libertarian forums and subreddits and things like that, this is a constant, ongoing, weird discussion they're having about age of consent all the time. It seems to be like one of their top 5 focuses. So
I think Vito just showed up.
Yeah, leadership figures.
Hey, Vito!
Leadership figures have endorsed child sex and have conducted a prominent fundraiser with a known pedophile.
What the fuck are you talking about? Who is this?
Well, she was a libertarian candidate, ran for governor of Arizona. She started to call out the pro-pedophile type shit she was seeing within her party.
Within her own party?
Yeah.
Okay.
2020.
Okay. Oh!
Sorry.
Wow.
Just walked in with his
Is that
balls
going to be a trend where every time I see you, your nutsack is going to be hanging out of your pants?
Hey, can I just say? Nice balls, dude.
And someone comments, there is no evidence that erotic contact is inherently harmful to youth. I am a libertarian for both adults and youth. Unlike Marissa,
What the
disliked
fuck? What the fuck?
What are you fucking talking
Freedom Fire for 10-year-olds because
for
because I
fuck's
believe they
sake.
should have a right to get fucked. So Jo Jorgensen is the libertarian candidate running for president. And so she came out and she said, it is not enough to be passively not racist. We must be actively anti-racist. And then she does a hashtag Black Lives Matter. And some guy ends up commenting, can I have my $40.40 back? I thought I was giving to a libertarian, not a Marxist.
Dude, I love that other podcast. And in life in general, when you just tear Louie apart, you destroy him.
For those of you who don't know, Name Redacted just walked into the room, whose name wasn't actually redacted in the last podcast.
Nobody knows who the fuck he is.
This is a personality.
400 pounds.
Yeah,
sitting
it's
on
your
the floor.
personality that's too big.
Okay, next story.
White people riots. Now, I'm pretty sure this happened in your lifetime because I remember it. The MSU riots.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there was one in Canada too, right? Something about they won a game. It was always the same scenario. They won a game, not lost
Yeah.
one.
Well, I mean, this was happening. I mean, it wasn't just MSU, but, this became, a trend for a while almost.
Rich white people.
Where, every few years there would be, a big game and then, people would riot in the streets or over it.
Yeah,
and it's
because they have lawyers to get them out of it. And they don't respect the community or property.
We won the game. Woo, let's go burn a car.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. If anything, it's the worst. When you think of rioting and the worst of rioting, the mentality behind it, that is the worst. White people have committed the worst, most useless, valueless fucking riots ever. And this has been historical, as we find out. Because in 1922, you want to talk riots? I was there for the 1922 Straw Hat Riot! The Straw Hat Riot of 1922.
That's a real thing.
Was a riot that occurred in New York City. I should do it as an old radio voice. Originating as a series of minor riots.
Dateline 1922, New York, the Straw Hat Riots.
Originating as a series of minor riots, it spread due to men wearing straw hats past the unofficial date that was deemed socially acceptable.
What the fuck?
That's the reason. I'm assuming the boater hats, hello, my baby, the...
barbershop quartet.
I own one.
Of course you would.
Of course. So straw hats.
So
past the date of September 15th, which is deemed socially unacceptable.
So when are we going to have our riot against people wearing white after Labor Day? Because that's basically what this boils down to, right?
Yeah. It lasted 8 days and it led to many arrests and some injuries, but you'd be a fool to think that this was the first fashion riot. Because this one, I remember reading about this.
Is it something dumber than straw hats?
In 1797, a London haberdasher, John Hetherington, was hauled into court on charges. I can't do a British accent. Of preaching the King's peace. Found guilty in order to pay a £50 fine. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Wearing a silk top hat, or as it was described in court, appearing on the public highway, wearing upon his head a tall structure, having a shining luster, and calculated to frighten timid people.
What the?
In other words, there was malice aforethought in this. This was premeditated.
Like people would be afraid of a hat?
According to contemporary reports, people booed, dogs barked, women fainted, and a small boy suffered a broken arm after a crowd formed around the hapless Mr. Hetherington.
What? A small boy broke his arm?
Yeah, they trampled him. Trampled him. Top hats were evidently outlawed in London for a time after that, although not for very long. 50 years later, so it was Prince Albert boosted the hat's popularity in England by wearing one and establishing the primacy.
That's good beer. Radio, Lou.
I drink a lot of beer. Prince Albert. Okay, so yeah, we've got 2 hat riots by white people.
Sure. Because at least white people have their priorities straight. He's wearing a hat. Get him.
So earlier, Kyle was bitching about how long it was taking for you to get to your house and come back. Remember when you were like, well, I'll drive when we were going to go to Luke's house for the first podcast? And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to drive. You want to know why that is?
It's because I drive slow?
Yes. Yeah, so it's annoying.
He said 10
yeah,
miles
I know. That's why. That's why I would rather you drive anyway, because I don't want people bitching about my driving.
Yeah, but I was like, one time I was like, Sean, why are you driving so slow? And he goes, because I'm transporting the most precious cargo of all, friendship. So the old 90s commercials and stuff where it was like, oh, we got these chocolate chip cookies, but somebody turned the thing up, and now there's...
Somebody put them through the radical machine.
Yeah. Well, I had this, idea where it's just some guy, and he's, he has a cracker factory. He's like, oh, no. My girlfriend brought her retarded kid to my factory and let him loose, and now he turned all the gears up, and the cheese... the level of cheese is going to retarded levels.
Retardos.
Just have some other preposterous way that the machine goes haywire. Oh no, the illegal immigrant fell into the vat.
The product is cheese tardo. Cheese tarded.
Oh, they got rid of Aunt Jemima. The liberals, the liberals got. Well, they're still using a black woman, but they're going to call her Aunt Tifa. So we're going to do a little segment called Jokes. Where we've we've rotten bad jokes. So I think I'm just going to have you guys read some of the ones I wrote, but Kyle's got some rat jokes.
All right. Yeah. Being a rat must suck, because how your whole life would be your living situation is relegated to probably a laboratory cage or a sewer, and you're trying to raise 4 teenage turtles all on your own, try to get them to karate class on time. It's gotta be rough. I'm alright. Yeah. Oh yeah. And, rats. They didn't even come from here. They came from the settler ships. It's crazy to think that from a few sailboats came these awful rotten vermin that spread across the whole continent and ruined everything. And then you got the rats. You ever heard of what a rat king is?
Yes.
Yeah, it's when a bunch of rats gets tangled together in a big old amorphous blob, and they're one thing. It's called a rat king. That's funny. Last time I was that tangled up with my own kind, they called us queens.
I wrote this joke like right before we started doing this, right? It's a terrible joke. I want you to read it in 1920s voice, okay?
A 1920s voice, eh?
Yes.
My girlfriend is on the phone constantly. She's a switchboard operator.
Call me old-fashioned, but if she didn't want it, why'd she order the fancy salad?
Did you send me
Rape
one?
is no laughing matter, unless one of you farts. Go, Luke.
I don't trust podiatrists. These are people who got overwhelmed in medical school and just decided, I'll just do the feet. My son is a real egghead, and boy, I'd love to scramble his brains. Thinks he's better than his old man. Too good to work at the mill like his old man?
Is that it?
No, what's the real joke here is Louie's living situations. I'm forced to lie on the floor with a portable AC unit, not venting anywhere, with old Al Jolson posters on the wall, and just said, yeah, Sean, we were going to do it at your house, but the dump's over there working.
What?
I don't know. There's trash in your house, Sean! It's off the cuff. What do you want from me?
How is there trash in my house when I'm looking at you right here?
Zing!
Ooh.
Jokes.
Okay.
Come on, Louie.
Kyle, Sean.
How dare you?
There's four of us.
All right, try him. I guess is Norm. See how those work.
Oh wait, I have to get into character. So we're stealing Norm Macdonald's bit, huh? All right. So if idle hands are the devil's playmate, then the devil must really like my dick. just the look on your face of glee.
That's not a bad joke.
Did you?
Okay, go ahead, Kyle.
Alright. You may believe in democracy, but I believe that somewhere within the food pyramid is a very old and vengeful mummy.
What?
You know, Luke, they say the road to success is hard work, perseverance, and a good education. But I found out it's Interstate 5 at the Mexico-Californian border with an asshole full of cocaine.
That's pretty good.
I was thinking about comedy and how with a joke, it's all in the delivery. So I was thinking about delivery, but instead I got DiGiorno.
These are actually, like, authentic, huh?
You guys are all done with your jokes?
Oh no, I got
What,
got
are you
two
saving
more.
the best for last? You holding out
Yeah,
on us?
I didn't read yours. You texted me. I'll do it off the cuff. I've given this a lot of thought, but if I ever murdered someone, I would probably masturbate immediately afterwards. Not because I find the act of violent bloodshed sexually arousing, but I figure once you cross the point of no return, you might as well come.
What do you call a hippie's wife? A Mississippi.
Are you reading that off a website?
What did the duck
Can
say?
you get off Stormfront for 5 minutes, Kyle?
What did the duck say when she bought a lipstick? Put it on my bill. I hate Russian dolls. They're so full of themselves.
Did you say you had one more?
I have
I have a bad joke then. So I was fucking my girlfriend last night, right?
Oh!
And I looked down and oh my god, there was blood everywhere. I thought to myself, gosh, I came blood again.
cue up the canned laughter. I got
What
one
do
left.
bees do if they need a ride? Wait at the buzz stop.
Okay, you ready?
What kind of cell phone does Geppetto use? A Pinocchio. Get it? Pinocchio.
Yeah. You like that joke?
It's Pinocchio.
I wrote it in 2004.
So, Louie, what have you learned tonight?
That I could write good jokes.
All right. Kyle, what have you learned?
Louie can write good jokes. And that Luke disappoints, disapproves of everything to do with Louie.
Well, you know what I've learned? That butt meat is the sweetest.
Oh.
Anyway,
Put some
All right.
weights on that.
Play us out.
Yeah. Way down by the stream, how sweet it would seem once more just to dream by the moonlight. My honey, I know, with the dawn that you will be gone. And tonight you belong, yes tonight you belong. Oh tonight you belong to me. Just a little hold me.
I'm not your property.